I'm your physical science teacher. Till 5th standard you studied science as a subject. From 6th standard onwards, in science there are two parts are there, physical science and biological science. Physical science means both physics and chemistry. Today I am going to teach physics lesson. The topic is motion and measurement of distances. In this, under this heading, I am going to teach story of transport, measurements, standard units and non-standard units. First we are going to talk about story of transport. Now we are in 20th century. Wherever we want to go or one country to another country we want to go, we can move easily because that much transport facilities are available nowadays. Just to think about ancient people, how they were travelled. They want to go to one place to another place, or even if it is a long distance and so, they travelled by their foot only. After that they used animals for their transportation. Then they want to cross the river. For that what they use? They join the wooden logs together. By that they cross the river. After the invention of wheel, there is a great change in the country. Then there is a car, bus, chariot, like that many transports were developed. After that, till 19th century, people depends on animals, that is boats and ships for their transportation. After that, after the development of steam engine, these more carriages were developed. And also after that, there is a aeroplane were invented. Then now we are in 20th century. There is the space shuttle. So now what are the contributions of 20th century? There is supersonic aeroplane, monorail. There is and there is the space shuttles. So if now we want to go to even space also, we can go and come back easily. Like these transports are all the modes of transports developed from ancient days to nowadays. Next topic is measurements. What is measurement? That is a comparison of an unknown quantity with known quantity. That is called what? Measurement. Now I have this chalk. I don't know the measurement of this chalk. Now this is unknown quantity. After measuring, I am saying this is a 7.5 centimeter. This is known quantity. So each and every object you want to measure means what we are using, or measurements we are using. Just you think about ancient people. Nowadays these measurements and all we are using, but in ancient days that measurements are not available. So for that, ancient people what they used? They used their body parts as their measurements. What are the body parts they used? Inch. This is a inch means that is from our top of the knuckle to tip of the thumb. This is called inch. That is an inch may be 2.5 centimeter. Then another one is that is handspan. This is one handspan. Handspan means from this distance from thumb to little finger. This is what? One handspan. Another one is cubit. That is from our elbow distance from our elbow to tip of the finger. Another one is fathom. Fathom means distance of outstretched distance of our outstretched arms. This is called what? Fathom. Then yard. Yard means what? From our chin to distance from our chin to tip of the finger. This distance we are saying what? Yard. Then foot. Like these measurements they used in ancient. That is like these measurements used by ancient people. But these measurements are not accurate. Why we are saying these are not accurate? Because it will be vary from person to person and place to place. So that we are saying these measurements are non-standard units. So that we are saying what? Non-standard units. Now we are going to talk about standard units. Nowadays what we are using? That is in 1760, 1790 First, some of the scientists, in French, they created a metric system. That is, in that they started some standard units, but that standard units and all worldwide not accepted. After that, in 1960, finally, all for the sake of uniformity, all scientists all over the world, they adopted some set of standard units. That units and all, they are saying what? SI units. What is meant by SI units? SI units means International System of Units. That is, we are saying shortly SI units. These measurements of these SI units and all, what purpose we are using? To measure the physical quantities, we are using what? SI units. Say, what are the physical quantities? Length, mass, volume, time and temperature. These and all, we are saying what? Physical quantities. For these physical quantities, we are using standard units. For length means, what are the standard units we are using? From smaller length to larger length, we are using, that is millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, like that. Standard units we are using for measuring length. For mass, what we are using? Gram and kilogram. For volume, what we are using? Milliliter and liter. For time, what we are using? Second. For temperature, we are using Kelvin. Like that, for these physical quantities, for the measurement of these physical quantities, we are using standard units. Okay, after measuring, these measurement are using for these physical quantities. Each and every physical quantities, after measurement, what we should do? We have to note the result. How we have to note the result? That is, we have to note the result in two parts. That what are that? First one is number, second one is unit. Now I am saying this is the length of this chalk is 7.5 centimeter. So 7.5 is what? Number. Then centimeter is what? Unit. So like that, we have to measure the result. So in physics, units is very important one. We have to mention the units. Not only in physics, in science, we have to mention the units. Another one, how we are going to measure the correct length using ruler. We are using many measuring devices like measuring tape, that is measuring tape, ruler, meter rod, like that. Many measuring devices we are using. So according to our convenient, which is convenient for us, that measuring devices we are using for that. Okay, like this. Now I think all of you understood all these topics. Just we can recall these contents. First, what are the contents we learned? Story of transport, measurements, non-standard units, standard units, and what are the physical quantities nowadays we are using. So I hope all you understood. Thank you, students.